Right, welcome back to the Young Fan Podcast and welcome to another League One predictions and preview show. It feels like a while, doesn't it, since we last did one of these, but we're really happy to be back. Friday, Saturday, Sunday football to enjoy in the division. Let me know in the comment section down below. I'll be touching on all 12 fixtures. Are you excited? Are you nervous? Let me know in the comments. Maybe you want to predict your side's results. Some people are a little bit nervous about predicting their team's outcome. I am as well, but I seem to manage to do it every single week. So there we go. Please do let me know. I'll be replying and responding to all of them as per usual. Let's get into it. We haven't got long. Talking of the FA Cup, because that interrupted League One last weekend. Put a video out on Monday after the draw. My live reaction to Oxford United hosting Arsenal, but also all the other League One outcomes or draws and ties across the FA Cup third round. Portsmouth, of course, they'll be facing Tottenham. Sheffield Wednesday are going to be hosting Newcastle as well. Some amazing fixtures. League One did really well in the FA Cup draw. So you're going to see my live reaction to pulling out I didn't physically put it out, but they did pull out the league leaders Arsenal to be visiting the Kassam Stadium. Pretty impressive, pretty exciting. I can't wait for it. My live reaction, you can watch that after this one because I've got a lot to get through today. Sorry. I forgot to mention it when I was recording the episode. It comes to my attention that 59.3% of the people that watch the podcast aren't subscribed. Please can you hit that subscribe button? It really would mean the world. It helps the growth of the podcast and really that's all I'm trying to do. And secondly, I'm trying to start a streak of 100 likes on every episode until Christmas. That would be incredible. Thank you so much. Let's get on with the episode. Let's start off with Peterborough United against Barnsley. So, Peterborough United versus Barnsley is where we're going to start. Two sides, of course, who got relegated from the Championship together last season, going head-to-head this time around. When looking at the league table, 4th for Peterborough United, 6th for Barnsley. Polar opposites form. We did a reflection with Tom Chappell across November. Quite a strange month for League One football. Only 2 games played, FA Cup distraction being one part of it. But Peterborough not really enjoying a good November. 2 defeats from that month now. Coming into this game with 2 defeats on the bounce. Barnsley 3 wins on the spin. And maybe Michael Duff is gaining a little bit of positive rhythm. Inconsistent start to the season. A little bit hot and cold. But now in those playoff places. Yes, be it by only 1 point. But that's important. Being in promotion contention is what they would have wanted at the start of the season. And now, taking a little bit of time. I use the word growing pains. I've described growing pains with Barnsley quite a lot so far this season. They might be getting their way through that now and getting a little bit of consistency. And that's the most important thing. For Peterborough, it hasn't been a bad season whatsoever. They're 4th in the league. A little bit of a gap, quite a substantial gap actually, between 4th and 3rd. Some people are calling it a little bit of a 3-horse race with Plymouth, Ipswich and Sheffield Wednesday sort of moving away from Peterborough, who are in 4th, 9 points between those two sides. And you would say 4th, 5th and 6th, all the way down to probably, you're probably looking at, it's very open, isn't it? You can't really give it, give a position right now, but the 4th, 5th and 6th are definitely places up for grabs. A lot of sides wanting to get there. Peterborough have got to be careful. They have got to turn that form around. The aim will be get a really good home win over Barnsley on Friday. This game being played on Friday rather than Saturday. When looking at the odds, Peterborough 48% chance of winning, specifically 63% when looking at them on a more specific term. Barnsley 29%, and that's exactly the same as what they get specifically normally with those odds. So, Peterborough United are actually favourites going into this one, and you can sort of see why. Higher in the league, home advantage will play a part, but I think form will also play a part as well, and you can see by looking at the odds, maybe it doesn't play as big an influence as it probably should do. I can see this being a draw, to be honest. I am probably going to go the draw. I am going to go 1-1. But let me know, Peterborough United fans, Barnsley fans, in the comment section down below. I know Peterborough's home form is better than their away form. In fact, we can actually look at the home table, can't we? Peterborough 2nd when looking at their away form, when they're actually a little bit lower, 18th, so very much lower actually. So I think that the home form will play a part. So that's probably a big reason why the odds are the way they are. But I'm going to go with a draw. I'm backing Barnes at the moment. The sort of their revolution they're on under Michael Duff and their really good run. I'm going to go 1-1. But let me know, what would you go with in the comment section down below. Right then, let's move over to the next game. Where are we going to be heading next? Let's go to Ipswich Town, because they're going to be hosting Fleetwood. Kieran McKenna hosting Scott Brown's Fleetwood. You can see by looking at the league table here, Ipswich 2nd in the league, 41 points. Still trying to catch up and stay with Plymouth and eventually, in their eyes, hopefully overtake them. 19 games played, 12 wins, only 2 losses, 19 goals conceded, 38 goals scored. They're ruthless going forward. Ipswich at home this season, they haven't been bad. Of course they haven't been bad. Look where they are on the league table. But they could have been a little bit better. They played against Cheltenham recently and drew 1-1. Again, they should have won that game. They had a lot of shots and just couldn't get that second goal and couldn't grab the win. So they've got to be careful because Fleetwood will be a similar type of games that I imagine. They're going to try and make it really difficult and try and probably play quite a low block. And also Fleetwood away from home this season, they have scored goals. I'm pretty sure. I think it's still going. It was for quite a long time. Fleetwood this season have scored in every game away from home. So we'll see what happens. But Fleetwood will try and be very dangerous, especially on the road. 17th in the league currently, Fleetwood 22 points. Not in brilliant form, quite inconsistent in the last 5 games, but it's so tight. League One this season is honestly a couple of wins and you've moved up about 5-6 places. They beat Ipswich, which I know is a big ask. Or just to win in the next couple of games, they're going to be up to mid-table comfortably again because they're on 22 points and, say 4 points is about 9th, isn't it? So it's really, really tight. Let's see what happens. I like what Scott Brown's doing at Fleetwood. They have been, really quite difficult to beat this season. They are going to be quite a challenging side who, again, will pose threat on the counter-attack. They will offer that pace going forward. That's with Gomez this season. Mendes Gomez has been really, really impressive, so they've got to watch out for him. But yeah, I think stability at the back has been the most important thing for Fleetwood. You can see 19 goals, actually the same amount of goals conceded as Ipswich, who are second. So they're not going to be, not going to be a pushover. They've got to be switched on Ipswich, and they can't be doing what they do at home sometimes and not be as ruthless in the final third. When looking at the odds, you can see we haven't actually got Fleetwood's odds, but Ipswich have got a 74% chance of winning, specifically 55%. So Ipswich Town are the favourites. It probably is what you'd expect. And I am going to go with a Town win here. I'm going to go 2-1. A 2-1 Ipswich Town win for this fixture here. Ipswich Town fans, Fleetwood fans, let me know in the comment section down below. What are your predictions? I'm going to go 2-1 though, between those two sides. So Morecambe versus Exeter is the next game we're going to be discussing when looking at the league table here. Exeter 11th, really, really quite excellent debut season back in Sky Bet League One. 25 points, 8 losses, but 7 wins. A really comfortable mid-table position. I thought Morecambe and Exeter would be quite close to each other throughout the season when I'm having a little look at the league table, but I've been proved very, very wrong, and that's a lot of credit going to Exeter. Everyone involved at Exeter. Of course, Taylor left the football club midway through the season. The new manager's come in. It seems as though it hasn't really affected things too much. I know Taylor was a massive, massive loss, but so far, it is continuing to go really, really well, and I'm excited to see more from Exeter as the season does progress. When looking at the league table for Morecambe, not so good. At 23rd in the league, 14 points, only won 2 games this season, only scored 15 goals. Their attacking output really is not there. Last season, Cole Stockton was a massive part of that. He's not scoring goals, he's not in good form, and going forward, they really are struggling. 9 games they've lost from those 19 as well. I'm worried for Morecambe. I really, really am. The relegation fight isn't over. Everyone in that bottom 4 has got 14 points, but I just don't think Morecambe got that quality, and really scoring goals is a massive part of football. And at the moment, they really are struggling at that. They've actually conceded double the amount of goals they've scored. That says quite a lot, doesn't it? When looking at the bookies, 28% for Morecambe, 51% for Exeter. Exeter, I would expect to be favourites. They are the favourites. I'm backing Exeter City here. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win. Fairly comfortable. Exeter lost the last game 2-0 against Ipswich Town. That was fairly comfortable, beaten quite fair and square. That's what you expect from Ipswich. No real expectation on Exeter. But yeah, I'm going to go 2-0 to the away side Exeter here. I think they've got enough to beat Morecambe fairly comfortably. So Plymouth versus Port Vale is up next. Plymouth still top of the table. A few draws recently, 3 from their last 5. Does it matter? No, not really. They're still top of the table. 13 wins from 19. 39 goals scored. They are ruthless going forward. Stephen Schumacher has got them firing on all cylinders. I look at their attackers, Morgan Whittaker, Ryan Hardy, Cosgrove, Azaz. That's just to name a few. I've definitely missed some names there. You'd expect them to be doing a really good job in the final third. But you've got to do it, haven't you? You have got to do it. And 39 goals in 19 suggests they're doing it pretty well. They've got a 2 points cushion as league leaders. Ipswich on 41 in second. But I still feel as though they're going to be challenged on Friday. I really, really do. Port Vale have not been a walkover whatsoever, and similar to Exeter, not just in position when looking at the table, but actually they've got this sort of fearless mentality, a really quite fearless mentality where they're not too worried about who they're up against, they're not being too worried about who they're faced, they're not worried about who they're facing, the type of players they're coming up against. They just go there, do what they do best, play really quite fiercely, like I say as well, and come away with what we've seen so far this season, some brilliant victories, some really good wins, and some really good points as well. 26 points from 19 games, 10th in the league. A really, really quite promising Port Vale side at the moment. So when looking at the bookies for this game, Plymouth with a 48% chance of winning. For them specifically, it's actually a 64% chance. Port Vale 29%, specifically 11%. So Plymouth are the favourites. And I would expect that. Home park this season, they've been very, very good. Exceptional home record, I believe. If we look at their home record, yeah, they've won 9 games from 9. I mean, there's a good record, and there's a very, very quite exceptional home record. And Plymouth are currently upholding that at the moment. 9 wins from 9. I think Plymouth are going to win this game. I really, really do. And that's not just because of the home record. I think they've got an exceptional side here. But they're going to be tested. They will be. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win. I'm going to go 2-0 to Plymouth for this game. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 2-1 or 3-1. Yeah, but I'm going to go 2-0. I think it's going to be fairly comfortable for Plymouth. But, who knows? Port Vale, they really have surprised quite a few sides this season. So, Ian Everett's Bolton Wanderers will be hosting Joe Barton's Bristol Rovers. Currently, Bolton 5th in the league. A little bit inconsistent across the campaign. So far, 9 wins, 5 losses, 4 draws. A little bit hot and cold, but they're 5th in the league. They're doing something right. 15 goals conceded defensively so far this season. Really, really impressive. Going forward, a little bit of a letdown. They do need to improve in the final third. I look at Peterborough, 34 goals. Sheffield Wednesday, 35, 38, 39 for Ipswich and Plymouth. But the optimism and the excitement does come from the fact if Bolton do sort that out, who knows where they could be. And they can get into second or third gear, especially going forward. I think there really is a level of excitement around Bolton. And to be 5th, it clearly shows they're doing something right. As for Bristol Rovers, 15th in the league, a win in their last game, which is really, really important for them. They were sort of hovering around 17th, 18th after a couple of weeks ago being 11th or 12th. That's League On for you, isn't it? 24 points at the moment, but a win against Bolton Wanderers, which won't be easy, of course, but it could see them go around 10th or 9th, which, again, just shows how absolutely incredible and how open this division is. When looking at the odds, it's a fairly high percentage for Bolton to win the game, 58%, specifically 75%, as for Bristol Rovers, 20%, 11% for them when they normally have those odds. So Bolton Wanderers are pretty heavy favourites. I will be going with the Bolton Wanderers win here. I think they really do need to sort of continue on a good run, gain that more consistency that I think they have been lacking. And I think a good way of doing that is backing their last win up with a win on Friday against Bristol Rovers. I think they will be able to do that. I think I'm going to go with a 2-1 Bolton Wanderers win. So Charlton versus Cheltenham is where we head next. Charlton currently 14th, Cheltenham currently 18th. Cheltenham haven't lost a game in their last 4. Charlton haven't won a game in their last 4. We speak about how tight this league is. You win a couple of games, you go 3 or 4 places up the table. You've got a bad run that Charlton are currently facing. You can slip down and down and down. And that'll be a concern. Ben Garner's touchline ban is now over. Did that play a part? Potentially. But for Cheltenham as well, look at Wade Elliott. He was under a lot of pressure these last couple of games, last 4 games to be really quite precise. We have seen a level of improvement. 22 points, and now sort of getting themselves out of the relegation scrap they found themselves in after, being on a really, really bad run. So let's see what happens here. I think it's going to be really tight, but Charlton, they do need to turn things around. They need to get back to winning ways, because this was quite not a winnable, because that's quite disrespectful, but look at their run they're on, and the form they're on, they definitely could have taken the run by storm. They weren't able to, and now they're in a bit of a sticky situation. Only 2 points between these two sides. A couple of weeks ago, we're talking 6 or 8 points between the two clubs. That just shows a difference, and just shows how a couple of games can change absolutely everything. When looking at the league table, we haven't got Cheltenham's odds, but Charlton are favourites, 58%, specifically 42%. It's at the Vale, and I do expect Charlton to win the game. I do. I think, although the form does suggest more, maybe paint a different picture, I think Charlton do have enough. I think they will win this game, and I'm going to go with a 2-1. I'm an R in there. I'm going to go 2-1 to Charlton. Maybe I could be proved very wrong. Cheltenham away from home, they went to Portsmouth Road and scrapped a 1-1 from it and defended for their lives, and fair play to them. But I think Charlton are going to be up for this. They know the importance of getting back on track. They got to play Stockport County in the FA Cup, and that got taken to a replay, a National League side. They're going to be really, really quite desperate to make amends and stop this bad run. So I think it will start on Friday night. I'm going to go with a win. 2-1. I think that's what I said. I might change it because I'm so indecisive, but I'm going to go 2-1 to Charlton when looking at this game there. So then, let's go to the first Saturday game, I believe, 12:30. Maybe it's not the first Saturday game. Yes, it is. It is. It's Derby County versus Sheffield Wednesday. What a massive game this is. Absolutely huge. At Pride Park as well. Sheffield Wednesday currently third in the league. 3 wins on the bounce. Darren Moore, Sheffield Wednesday, they're doing a really, really good job, and things are getting better and better every single week. 40 points. They're in that sort of 3-horse race, if you like, to finish in the top 2 and maybe even claim the title. They need to sort of continue to catch up with Ipswich and Plymouth, and so far they certainly are doing that. Only 3 points off Plymouth, only a single point off from Ipswich. As for Derby County, they have slipped out of that top 6, but it's very, very close. Only a point away from 6th place. On a really good run themselves as well. Consistency is now coming, and these are 2 really, really informed sides. Look at the last 5 games in particular, really, really informed. 40 points, 29 points. There's a bit of a gap when we look at the points tally, but Derby have had having a very different start, haven't they? They started the season in very, very unprecedented times. Wayne Rooney had a bit of pre-season, I believe. I don't think he did, actually. I'm pretty sure he left before that. Liam Rosner came in, or was sort of took the promotion from assistant manager to first team manager. He left, now Paul Moore's in, so it's been really quite all over the shot for Derby, but a little bit of consistency off the field and now a bit of consistency on it. I think it's going to be a really, really fascinating game of football. I can't wait for it. When looking at the odds here, Derby County 33%, Sheffield Wednesday 43%, and we're looking at the specific odds, a 9% lead towards Sheffield Wednesday. This is really, really tight. Really tight. If it was at Hillsborough, I probably would slightly edge towards Sheffield Wednesday. I could see a high-scoring draw here. Derby haven't really scored as many goals as they maybe should be if they want to be sort of in and around that top 3, but I think that might be a little bit out of reach. But even Peterborough, who in 4th, have scored 34 goals compared to Derby's 23. Defensively, they haven't been bad. 16 goals conceded isn't bad at all, really. I think this could be a draw. I'm going to go 2-2. I don't like sitting on the fence, but I'm going to go 2-2. Derby County fans, Sheffield Wednesday fans, let me know. I'm fascinated by this. I really, really am. I think it's going to be a really, really tasty fixture, and I think it's going to sort of see some key players hopefully come to life. Barry Bannon's going to be the man to watch out for Sheffield Wednesday. Derby County have got quite a few. I'd say Collins up front. They've got some really good strikers, haven't they? Collins, McGoldrick are the 2 sort of really star men. Up front, but they've got the likes of Cash at the back, who's doing a really good job in the defensive third. They've got some really exciting attackers, Buck Husen, Mendes Lang, Hurahan, of course, hasn't been too bad, has it? They've got a really, really exciting Derby County squad there. And as for Sheffield Wednesday, they're also, filled with talent. I'm excited for this one, but I'm going to go 2-2. Let me know, those Derby County fans, Sheffield Wednesday fans. I'm really, really intrigued to see what's going to happen there. I'm going to go 2-2. Right then, we're making our way through these games. MK Dons are going to be hosting Burton Albion. I didn't think I'd be saying this at the start of the season. Potentially a relegation 6-pointer. 2 sides who are currently in the bottom 4. MK Dons really, really struggling. 21st against 22nd. 14 points of both of these clubs. As for all of the clubs currently in the relegation zone, MK Dons not in good form whatsoever. 2 defeats on the bounce. They lost in the FA Cup as well to Pompey, 3-2. They didn't play horrifically in the game. Defensively, they could have been much better, but going forward, a little bit of promise. But it's just not been very good whatsoever, has it? 12 defeats from 18, 4 wins from 18, 17 goals scored. Not good at all. 28 goals conceded. Leaky. Really quite leaky. It's just been so almost sort of... I mean, it's all been... I'm actually quite sad to see MK Dons sort of fall away compared to where they were last season, like they have. I was really, really enjoying watching sort of Liam Manning and what he was trying to do in that sort of project MK Dons, and it just sort of has fallen apart. They lost some key players over the summer. We say it every single week, but there is now more to this. It's not just Scott Twine and Harry Darling's fault, the reason why they are currently struggling. There is more to it. And Liam Manning, who is still their manager, is under a lot of pressure. And I think if something doesn't happen, if they lose to Burton, I'll put my neck on the line and say, I think he probably will go. I think he probably will go if they lose to Burton. Even draw, there'll be question marks. But, a draw really, 2 sides in the bottom 4, I wouldn't put it past it. I wouldn't put it past it at all. Burton, 22nd in the league, again, also on 14 points. Recently, a little bit better. 2 draws. They won before they also had 2 defeats in the last 5 as well. But I mean, look at their goals conceded. 40. 40 goals conceded. They've conceded the most amount of any club. But they have scored a couple more. 25. They scored the most goals of any club in the bottom 4. They won 6-1, didn't they, in the FA Cup on Saturday. So a little bit of confidence from that. A couple of points here and there in the last 2. Who knows? There has been improvement at Burton, but I still don't think it's enough. I really, really don't. I look at the odds here. MK Dons 44. Burton Albion 31. MK Dons are favourites. It is at the MK Dons ground. It does see them play at home. Does that influence it too much? I don't think it does. I'm going to back MK Dons. I've done it too much this season. It's come back to bite me on the backside. So maybe if I predict them to lose, they might turn their form around. But I'm going to back MK Dons again. I think they will win the game. I'm going to go 2-1. Tight, edgy. It's going to be probably not the most attractive game, which last season that fixture would have been MK Dons, absolutely at their best. They're playing some really, really exciting stuff, but this season you just can't rely on them to do that. So I'm going to go 2-1. But again, I'm backing MK Dons, which is dangerous because so far this season that hasn't actually proved very successful whatsoever. So, Shrewsbury Town against Lincoln City. Shrewsbury currently 16th in the league, not in good form whatsoever as well. Last 5 games, there was 3 from their last 5, 23 points from 19, 21 goals conceded, 17 goals scored. Shrewsbury, a couple of weeks ago, in that top 10. Now, look at that bad run. Look how tight it is. You slip down 6 places or potentially even more. And they're playing against a side like Lincoln, who are in really, really good form. And I'm actually really excited to see what's happened with Lincoln. Really, really excited to see what's going to happen here. They're sort of this. I mean, they're a side where I spoke about it Tom. I don't want to repeat everything I said in that episode, but they are just sort of sneaking their way up, aren't they? They're sneaking their way up, and where did they come from? They're sort of slowly and quite quietly going about their business, but there's always one team that makes it quite close, doesn't it? There's always one team, and it potentially could be Lincoln City this year. 26 points, 8 draws, but 6 wins from 18. Last 3 games are unbeaten. They won in the last game. I mean, it is sort of in form against out form, isn't it, once again? But, yeah, let's have a look at the bookies here. Shrewsbury, 43%. Lincoln City, 31%. So, interestingly, Shrewsbury are the favourites. I'm going to go... actually, let's have a look at the home form here for Shrewsbury. 19th, so actually similar to where they currently are in the league table. Only a couple of places out away, Lincoln City. We know they are good away, Lincoln City. Of course, they've caused some real upsets away from home this season. Yeah, I'm going to go... It's tight, it's close, isn't it? I'm going to go 1-0 Lincoln City. I'm going to go 1-0 Lincoln City. I'm going to put my neck on the line a little bit. I'm going to go 1-0. Let's see what happens. Shrewsbury Town 0, Lincoln City 1. I could get myself into a little bit of trouble there in the fact that going against the bookies is sometimes a little bit dangerous, but they're not always right. They're not always right. Even though they say the bookies always win, but they won't in this case because Lincoln, I think they're going to do a job away from home against Shrewsbury Town on Saturday. Right then, Forest Green Rovers against Cambridge United. Forest Green currently bottom of the league. Cambridge United 20th. Again, not a great fixture when it comes to league position. Fairly low down. It might make a good game of football, but it also might not. I don't know. Cambridge, who actually under Mark Bonner want to play some really good stuff, but so far this season have struggled to do so. To 18 goals scored, it's not as many as he would have wanted really. 30 goals conceded is a problem. Forest Green Rovers, only 16 goals scored. They've shipped 38 goals. Rock bottom of the league. 11 games they've lost from 19. It's been a struggling start to the season for Forest Green. They drew against Oxford United in their last game 1-1. Individually, not great. As a unit, quite impressive. I'd say very impressive. They made it very, very difficult. Played quite a high line, actually, which was quite tactically clever. They knew that we didn't have maybe the pace going forward, and that actually let us down going, in the attacking phase. But I still don't trust them, sort of man for man. They're not a great side. But yeah, I'm not scared to say that as a unit and as a team, they can make it really quite challenging. I think that might be a little bit of an anomaly, though, because they have lost 11 games. So maybe that could be a little bit of Oxford United not being very good on the day, especially in that second half. Let's have a look at the bookies here. You know how much I'm a Mark Bonner fan, and Cambridge United are a side to look out for because I think Mark Bonner's a really exciting coach. But this season, I can't back him up. He really is struggling. And in recent weeks, and actually this last couple of months, there's been a real drop-off at Cambridge United. When looking at the odds, 39% Forest Green Rovers, Cambridge United 36%. So it does see Forest Green Rovers actually the favourites, but specifically, Cambridge United are edging it. I am going to go with a draw, though. I'm going to go 1-1. Forest Green Rovers 1, Cambridge United 1. Quite a few draws, the predictions today. Yeah, I'm going to go 1-1, though. Which wouldn't be... who would take that more? I mean, Forest Green need to win, don't they? Because they are rock bottom. Try to sort of play the obvious card there. They'd all want to win. But I think Cambridge, they might be hoping for more, but they're away from home, and they're not in good form. But so are both of them. I don't know. I'm going to go 1-1. Let me know. That's quite a difficult one, actually. That is quite difficult. Right then, for the penultimate fixture, Accrington Stanley against Oxford United. I really, really hope we win the game. I really, really hope we do. I know all fans will be saying that, but Oxford United, I think we just drawn Arsenal in the FA Cup. I haven't spoken about that enough since Monday. But when it comes to league position as well, we are climbing, we are building a little bit of momentum, we are building a little bit of rhythm, we are improving. Second half against Forest Green Rovers wasn't good. The first half was really promising. In the last couple of weeks, we've beaten Port Vale 4-0, and across that game, we did actually show sort of glimpses of last season. And you sort of feel it slowly getting there. It's definitely not fully there, but you sort of saw in bits of last season and bits of that real quality that Oxford United have shown in League One sort of creep in slowly but surely. And I'll take that. I really, really will. And that league is so open that we just need to go and just beat Accrington. Let's just do it. I know this is not the most analytical way of looking at the game, and Accrington won't make it easy. They won their last game as well. They're coming into this game with a little bit of confidence. They are still 19th. They are still six places below Oxford, but Accrington, they are a banana skin. Although they're 19th, they're going to make it so tough. They always do. We've seen Accrington in League One for a long time. We've seen John Coleman in League One for a long, long time as well. We know they're not going to make it a simple task. They never do. So we've got to be at our best. We've got to be firing all cylinders going forward. We've got to be stable defensively, and we've got to win the midfield battle. That's what we've got to do. And we've got to dominate the game. We've got to dominate the game and take the chances when they come. Don't drop off. Don't be good in the first half, and then in the second half, feel as though we need to take our foot off the gas. Don't be 1-0 up at half time, take our foot off the gas, draw the game, and maybe even worse, lose it. We need to be constant at it throughout. Consistently show a level of energy and enthusiasm from minute 1 until minute 90. That's what we need to do. Again, it's a lot to ask for. It's what every fan will be thinking. That's exactly what we need to do ahead of this game. Accrington, before their win last week, weren't in great form whatsoever. Oxford, you feel they're building something. Let's just keep that train moving. Get past Accrington, the station of Accrington, if we're going to carry on with the train analogy, and just keep on moving. Because like I say, this league is so open, absolutely who knows. Accrington 31% chance, Oxford United 45% chance, 40%, 32%. So Accrington specifically, it does see Oxford favourites, which does make it more nervy for me. I'm going to back the boys. I'm confident in what I'm seeing so far. Again, Forest Green wasn't great, especially in the second 45. But I still feel as though, against Exeter in the FA Cup, we looked really good. We looked really, really good. So, yeah, I'm going to go 1-0. 1-0. No, I'm not. I'm going to go 2-1. I don't really trust us to keep clean sheets. We have struggled to do that across the season. And actually, we did last season as well. I'm going to go 2-1. We're going to have enough, though. Have enough to win the game. I hope so, anyway. I really, really do. Right then, finally, Wycombe Wanderers against Portsmouth. Wycombe, currently 12th in the league, exactly mid-table. Pompey outside that top 6 for the first time this season. 7th, 4 draws on the bounce. It's the draw league, isn't it? They're trying to compete with Fleetwood for the draw league. Fleetwood on 10, Pompey on 8, a couple of teams, Charlton on 9, but 4 draws on the bounce. It's quite rare, actually, quite rare. But they want to get back in that top 6 as soon as they can. They have got a couple of games in hand. They've got one on Barnsley, Bolton, a couple more on Peterborough United and Ipswich Town, and Plymouth, actually. But you just sort of feel it's on main event as well. It's on Sky Sports. I will be watching this game, so it's going to be quite exciting. Wycombe, again, no surprise. They're going to make this tough. They're going to probably play a low block. They're probably going to also play on the counter-attack, allow Pompey to have the ball, but again, break it down when they need to. Get it up to Sam Vokes, allow him to hold at the ball and try and spray out to Mohamed. He's been in great form this season so far. It's not going to be straightforward. It never is. Wycombe never make it straightforward. And Pompey, they've got to sort of turn this quite frustrating form around and sort of be a bit more ruthless. But at the moment, they look a bit soft at the moment, don't they, Pompey? A little bit soft. They need to sort of really now get going again. When looking at the odds, Wycombe 41% chance, Pompey 36, specifically 44 and 42. It does see Portsmouth favourites. Wycombe favourites, but specifically Pompey favourites. That's quite interesting. The bookie's actually putting the money on Wycombe Wanderers. It's not good news for Tom Chappell's Pompey, is it? I don't know. This is really close. I'm going to go another draw. Sorry, Portsmouth, I am, and that's going to get a little bit of stick there. I'm going to go 1-1. I am. I don't know. I mean, if you put the level of performance you have done in recent weeks against a side like Wycombe away from home, it's going to be really tough, and you're going to make it really tough for yourselves. I am going to go 1-1. It's not what Pompey fans want to hear, but that's my prediction. Sorry. You could easily win it, but so could Wycombe. That's how tight this match could be. Really quite even. Form's quite even as well. Let me know in the comment section down below. Leave me all your predictions. I'll be reacting and replying to all of them as per usual. In the meantime, we've got Friday games, Saturday games, Sunday games. We're absolutely all over the shop. The roundup should be out on Sunday night. If not, might have to push it back to Monday. I know England are playing on Sunday, aren't they now? So that does change the schedule slightly. But either way, I hope you did enjoy it. Please do leave a like and subscribe. I've been Jack. This has been the Unfan Podcast. I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care. That will not be straightforward to edit.